Deep beneath the West African sun, in the earth of Sierra Leone, lies a treasure worth billions. It's not just a discovery, it's a geological jackpot with a certified resource of nearly 6 million ounces of gold. But as incredible as that sounds, the real story, the one that's genuinely changing the game, isn't just about the gold. It's about how this massive, nation-building mine is being powered. This isn't just a mine, it's a revolution. It's a project taking one of the biggest challenges in modern industry head-on. Deep in the districts of Bo and Tonkalili, a groundbreaking hybrid power plant is rising from the ground. It's a facility poised to set a new global standard for how to sustainably power a billion-dollar industry and in the process, help change a nation's destiny. This is the story of how immense wealth and incredible technology are coming together to rewrite the future of resource extraction in Africa. To really get the importance of this moment, you have to understand Sierra Leone. For decades, the nation's name was tied to a different resource: diamonds. It's a history scarred by the term blood diamonds and the painful paradox of the resource curse, where immense natural wealth doesn't lead to prosperity, but instead fuels conflict and exploitation. That history has cast a long shadow, leaving the country and its people rightly cautious, yet deeply hopeful for a different future. So, the question has always been, how do you break the cycle? How can a nation turn its geological lottery ticket into real long-term sustainable development for its people? The answer is now taking shape about 200 kilometers east of the capital, Freetown. It's called the Baomahun Gold Project, and it's set to become Sierra Leone's first large-scale industrial gold mine. The scale is hard to wrap your head around. The project covers over 124 square kilometers, and beneath it lies that JORC-certified resource of 5.81 million ounces of gold. To put that in perspective, this is one of the largest gold development projects in Africa, a continent known for its colossal mineral wealth. For years, gold mining in Sierra Leone was mostly done by artisanal miners. It's a sector that's tough to regulate, often dangerous, and provides little formal revenue or broad economic benefit. Baomahun represents a paradigm shift. This is the formalization and modernization of an entire sector, backed by hundreds of millions of dollars in investment and built on a new vision. But to build something this big, in a region with tough terrain and limited infrastructure, you first have to solve some monumental engineering problems. Building a billion-dollar mine. Carving a modern industrial complex out of the West African landscape is a Herculean task. The Baomahun project sits in a region of rolling hills and valley swamps, a terrain that demands not just immense power, but incredible precision. Early work began in 2023, with local contractors upgrading 64 kilometers of the vital Matatoka Road, a lifeline for the colossal machinery and materials to come. Simultaneously, vast areas are being cleared, not just for the mine pits, but for the sprawling infrastructure, worker camps, administrative buildings, and the sites for the processing plant and the revolutionary power station. The geology itself tells a story millions of years in the making. The gold is hosted in Birimian-style deposits, legendary for their riches. So far, exploration has only intensely drilled about 1.5 kilometers of a potential 12-kilometer mineralized zone. The potential for future discoveries is immense. Soon, this quiet landscape will be transformed by the rhythm of modern mega-mining. It starts with precision drilling, boring holes into hard rock that are then packed with explosives. A controlled, thunderous blast fractures millions of tons of rock in an instant. Then, the titans of industry arrive. Giant hydraulic excavators, scooping up tons of earth in a single pass, will load a fleet of massive haul trucks. These trucks, each the size of a small house, will begin a relentless procession, carrying ore from the open pit to the processing plant. It's a ballet of heavy machinery, a carefully choreographed operation designed to move mountains. And every single part of it, from the first drill to the final haul, requires one thing above all else: massive, reliable, and uninterrupted power. The energy dilemma. And here's the multi-billion-dollar problem that has plagued heavy industry for a century, especially in remote spots. A mine like Baomahun is an energy beast. Its crushers, grinders, and pumps will run 24/7. Any power interruption, even for a few minutes, can cost millions in lost production. The lifeblood of the entire operation is electricity. Traditionally, the solution was brutal and straightforward. Build a massive power plant running on diesel or heavy fuel oil. Fleets of tankers would constantly shuttle fuel to the site, creating a logistical and environmental nightmare. This old way has three crippling flaws. First, it's incredibly expensive, chaining the mine's profitability to volatile global fuel prices. Second, it's a huge source of carbon emissions, pumping out greenhouse gases in an era grappling with climate change. And third, it relies on a complex fuel supply chain that can be easily disrupted. For FG Gold, the developers of Baomahun, just copying this old, dirty, and inefficient model wasn't an option. They were committed to a new standard. They needed a 21st century solution, something that could provide unwavering reliability while being cost-effective and environmentally conscious. They needed to solve the energy dilemma not just for Baomahun, but to create a model for all of Africa. The revolutionary solution: a hybrid power plant. What they chose to do is the heart of this story. It's what elevates Baomahun from just a big gold mine to a pioneering project. In partnership with Cross-Boundary Energy, they are building a state-of-the-art hybrid power station. This isn't a few solar panels on a roof. It's a deeply integrated, intelligent energy ecosystem. Let's break it down. First, the muscle of the operation. A 23.8 megawatt solar photovoltaic plant, which will be the largest in Sierra Leone. Thousands of panels will soak up the equatorial sun, generating a huge amount of clean electricity during the day. On a clear day, this solar array could supply up to 90% of the entire mine's considerable energy needs. But what happens when a cloud passes over? Or when the sun goes down? That's where the brains of the operation come in. A 13 megawatt, 13.8 megawatt hour battery energy storage system, BES. This bank of high-tech batteries acts as a shock absorber, instantly discharging power to fill any dips from the solar panels and ensuring a perfectly stable flow of electricity. It also stores excess solar energy, allowing the mine to keep running on clean power long after sunset. Finally, you have the safety net, the guarantee of 100% uptime. This is a 21 megawatt thermal power plant. But unlike the old model, this plant isn't the star player. It's the strategic backup. It's designed to kick in during the night after the batteries are depleted, during long stretches of bad weather, or whenever extra power is needed, making sure the mine never, ever stops. This three-part harmony of solar, battery, and thermal backup is the magic formula. The impact of this power station goes far beyond the mine's fence. This is a calculated move to decarbonize a major industrial operation. The numbers are impressive. Over its 20-year agreement, the plant is expected to prevent approximately 380,000 tons of CO2 from being released into the atmosphere. That's a huge reduction in the project's environmental footprint. The innovation here isn't just technological, it's also financial. The entire power station is being built under a Build-Own-Operate-Transfer, or BOOT, agreement. In simple terms, Cross-Boundary Energy is fully financing and building the multi-million-dollar facility. FG Gold, the mining company, just signs a 20-year agreement to buy the power at a predictable price. This is a game changer. It means the mining company doesn't have to spend a fortune on the upfront cost of a power plant. That frees up capital to be invested directly into the mine, the community, and the national economy. This financial model de-risks the switch to renewables for heavy industry. It makes clean power not just an environmental choice, but a smart business decision. This is the new standard for how to responsibly develop natural resources in the 21st century. With its power source now secured, the mine can fully focus on its ultimate mission: transforming raw rock into gleaming gold. The journey begins with ore hauled directly from the open pit. Massive trucks carry the heavy loads and tip the material into a primary crusher. This powerful machine breaks down the large chunks of rock into smaller, more manageable pieces. From there, a system of conveyors transports the fragments to colossal semi-autogenous grinding, SAG, mills, and ball mills. Inside these mills, the ore is tumbled together with heavy steel balls, slowly pulverizing it into an incredibly fine powder. Once the rock is reduced, the powder is mixed with water, creating a thick slurry. This mixture is then pumped into enormous leaching tanks. Within these tanks, a chemical solution is carefully added, designed to dissolve even the tiniest microscopic particles of gold locked inside the rock. The result is a gold-rich liquid that contains the precious metal in its most extractable form. From this point, the process moves to final recovery. Using electrowinning and smelting, the gold is extracted, purified, and then superheated in furnaces that reach temperatures above 1,000 degrees Celsius. Finally comes the most anticipated moment, the first gold pour. A glowing stream of molten orange metal flows into molds, cooling into solid bars of pure gold. That first bar, expected by 2025 or 2026, will represent more than wealth. It will stand as a milestone, marking the beginning of a new era for the mine and all who depend on its success. The true value of Baomahun cannot simply be measured in ounces of gold. Its real worth lies in the impact it has on the people, communities, and overall economy of Sierra Leone. This project represents more than just another mining venture. It stands as a direct challenge to the long-standing resource curse narrative that has overshadowed many resource-rich African nations. Instead of extracting wealth while leaving little behind, Baomahun is aiming to prove that natural resources can fuel genuine development. Economically, the potential is nothing short of transformative. Once the mine reaches full operation, projections by the company and its partners suggest it could become one of Sierra Leone's most significant contributors to national GDP. The numbers are telling. An estimated 900 direct and indirect jobs will be created, and according to government officials, this figure could grow to around 1,200 over time. But this is not just about providing employment. The project is laying the foundation for long-term careers, developing a new generation of skilled mining professionals who will carry knowledge and expertise into the country's future industries. Equally important is the project's local-first philosophy. From the start, the company has committed to prioritizing local contractors and suppliers, ensuring that Sierra Leoneans remain at the heart of its operations. The initiative to employ former artisanal miners is especially significant, as it transitions individuals from risky, informal mining into safer, more stable livelihoods. Social investments have already begun reshaping communities. A health center has been refurbished, a new primary school built, and scholarships awarded to young students. Perhaps the most striking example of community integration is the supply chain for the mine's camp, where fresh produce is sourced directly from local women farmers. This not only sustains the project, but also empowers female entrepreneurs. Furthermore, the pledge to allocate 1% of the mine's gross revenue to a community development fund ensures long-term, locally driven development. This commitment goes beyond corporate social responsibility. It is embedded in the business model itself, designed to create shared prosperity between the mine and the people it serves. The Baomahun Gold Project is a story of dual transformation. It's the story of a nation taking control of its resources to build a more prosperous future, moving beyond a difficult past. And it's the story of an industry at a turning point, proving it's possible to power massive operations cleanly and sustainably. What's happening in Sierra Leone is more than the construction of a mine. It's the construction of a new model. By combining a world-class mineral deposit with an innovative world-class energy solution, FG Gold and its partners are showing that profitability and sustainability aren't mutually exclusive. They are proving that a multi-billion-dollar project can be an engine for economic growth, community development, and environmental stewardship. The gold from Baomahun will be valuable, but the legacy of its power station could be priceless. It sends a clear message to the world. The game has truly changed. The future of mining can be smarter, cleaner, and more equitable, creating lasting value not just for shareholders, but for entire nations.